Welcome to the Path to Purpose interview show, where we share our unique and universal stories about finding and fulfilling our purpose. My name is Katja, and I'm your host and mentor for Lightworkers. And the intention for this show is to inspire you on your path to purpose and give you ideas and tips how you can fulfill your purpose. And today I'm here with Alina Vincent, who is my business mentor and online challenge expert. She is passionate about helping entrepreneurs package and monetize their knowledge and expertise to create a leveraged and scalable business. And she is so gifted in her ability to quickly simplify complex ideas, even the spiritual ideas, into actionable, logical, results-generating steps without overwhelm. And this leads to step-by-step approach to creating successful online programs, engaged Facebook communities, and profitable online challenges. So let's dive straight into Alina's path and get those expert tips how we can also raise our visibility. So welcome, Alina. Thank you for taking time from your busy schedule to share your expertise with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
So before we move to those expert tips, can we put you on the map? So where are you now? And if you want to share a little bit more about yourself, because I just introduced you very briefly.
No, you did a great job. So I have a pretty successful business. I help business owners grow their business online, get more visible, and I primarily do it through helping them create their programs and challenges. So anything that takes that, oh, I have a gift, I have a talent, and how do I go to the world with it? And we've had a lot of conversations with you, Katja, about that.
Yes.
And my gift is putting something concrete under them and creating and packages of your information so it can exist outside of you. So you can create passive income. So you can create this knowledge and expertise that can work and help people transform their lives even when you're not there. And that's what makes for scalable and leveraged business.
Thank you for explaining that, because those are very businessy words. So bringing it down to the earth, like, okay, this is what we are all about here. And that is really your gift, because since I have been working with you, it's always like, can you help me ground these ideas? Like, how do I do this business part?
Yeah, so, it's kind of like so many people say like, oh, I have a book in me. So I believe my true belief is everybody has a program in them. They just don't know what it is. So helping people see the method behind their gift, behind their skills, behind how they work with people one-on-one, and finding systematic process that they can now allows them to serve hundreds or even thousands of people instead of only working one-on-one.
Yeah, and that is, I think, many of our listeners are like, yes, that's what I want. Like, I have this gift, and how do I go out there? How do I share it? But before we jump into those, like, how did you end up doing what you are doing now? Like, did you always know this is my path?
Oh my gosh, no, it's, well, kind of. We kind of go in circles, and then looking back, it's like, oh, I've had all this pattern. Sorry, I've been talking a lot today. So I actually grew up in the former Soviet Union. So my whole upbringing was like education. You have to like go to high school, then go to school, to college, then get a PhD, it was all an academic world, because that's the value was all based on like, the more you know, the more valuable you are. So growing up there, I was 20 when I left. I already had my master's degree, and my direction was like, I'm just gonna go like the path of both of my parents, the path of my grandparents. You learn as much as you can, and then you start teaching back. So when I first came to the US, I went and did exactly the same thing. I started getting more degrees. I got another master's degree. I was working on my PhD. I was teaching at the university, and I was like, how can I learn more? I'm a learner, and I want to teach. So the teaching part has always been part of my life, but I've only imagined my life as work, as being in the academic world. And
Mhm.
then I started getting this kind of uneasy feeling because so here I was working in a job which was capped at, I think we're getting paid like $43,000 a year, and there was like no possibility of making more than maybe 10,000 more, $20,000 more, even if I stayed there for another 20 years. And then I had a boss that was always telling me what to do, and if I wanted to get creative, it just like I felt kind of boxed in. And one day I said, I don't want somebody else to tell me what the value of my time is or the value of my gifts are and put that ceiling on top of me. And I quit my job and I said, I'm going to start a business. How hard can it be? I have a degree in theoretical physics. Gee. And it was probably like, even comparing the culture shock from coming from Russia to US, it was nothing comparing to the culture shock of going being an academic world to like, oh, I have to market myself. I have to promote myself. I have to sell myself. So it was, I started a photography business. And for the first year, the biggest struggle was like, I can't talk about myself. I can't promote about myself. I feel
Mm.
I don't know how to talk about myself. Don't you know that I'm good? Why don't you just hire me? And there was a lot of that. I'm sure people can relate to that. And this is actually where I help a lot of my own clients with right now because I can so relate. To me, it was such a foreign language. So I've hired a mentor, I've joined a mastermind, I've had coaches, and I was not learning more on how to be better at my business. I was learning more about how to market. And then eventually I realized that things started clicking, and then I was doing things and things started to come easy, and people started coming to me not because they wanted me to take their pictures, but they're like, so how did you get so visible? And how are you getting clients from Facebook? And tell me what exactly you're doing to promote your business because it feels effortless and it doesn't feel sleazy and you still so real and authentic. And this is where I kind of switched again and I closed my photography business and became a business coach. And this is what I do now. I help people showcase themselves in a way that actually makes you feel good on the inside, where majority of what I teach is still teaching. So this whole like academic, like I know something, I want other people to know it, that's I've been doing all my life. But
Yeah.
now it's like, how do you put it online? How do you put it in the coaching industry? What if you're a healer? How does that translate? So to me, marketing, I still want to share my message. I want to teach people. I want to educate people. But then there's also opportunities to invite them to work closer with you or to get access to you for compensation so you can actually have a profitable business. I know this was a really long answer to your question.
But it was beautiful, and what you shared there is like the like your eagerness to learn and then like put it in practice, testing it out, and then like sharing through teaching. Because really love that part of you, because when you teach it's so easy, like, okay, these are the steps, so I can see the background there coming from the educational ground, because
Yeah,
it
my
is very
engineering mind, right?
yes. But you have also the openness to then to towards the spiritual people and all of us who are like more into the spirit realm, to hear us as well and helping us in the grounding these things. And
Mm-hmm.
before we start talking about this topic about online challenge, let's clarify a few terms, because
Yeah.
one of them is as we use the challenge in a little bit different context. So
Yeah.
online challenge,
So
online can be a challenge for us. So then like, but I think you mean a very different thing with the online
yeah,
challenge.
so the word online challenge, of course, has several different meanings, and we're not talking about like how to have difficulties online. We're talking about a special type of training that you can put together that is called a challenge. And I'm sure you've all seen challenges. Like anytime somebody says like, "Hey, let's have 7-day detox," or "Let's do 5 days without sugar," or 21 days to flatter abs. Like there's a lot of challenges that originally got really popular in gyms where like it's 21-day boot camp. Come here every day and work out for 15 minutes and you'll lose 20 pounds. So in the health and wellness industry, there's a lot of challenges. So what I've done is I've started participating in challenges when I was a photographer, where the fun part was like, hey, this month, let's only take black and white photos. So I got into this in challenges because it was fun, it was easy, it pushed me outside of my comfort zone. There were other people doing it. We were getting inspired by other people's ideas. So when I first started doing my business online in the business coaching realm, creating programs felt overwhelming and felt like, I have to create this 17-week program and put that felt like way too much. And then I was like, oh, I love doing challenges. How about I create a challenge where it felt like I would give people like 5-10 minute pieces of information every day. They'll go do something, and the next day they'll get the next direction. And I love that, and people loved it, and that's what put me on the map. So my very first challenge was 21-day challenge. And then they said, wow, that was way, way, way too long. And that was about 5 years ago. So since then, I've perfected my formula. So now what I teach, my 5-day challenges, they're always live because you get the most bang for your buck, the most engagement, the most exposure, the most interaction if you're doing it live. So we do 5-day challenges, and it's 5 days free of a new training where you take a group of people who want to learn a new habit, master a new skill, or try something for the first time. So that's what online challenges are.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Because it gives the context for us to understand. And then the other thing, these online challenges, they are on Facebook mainly. That's the method you're using.
Yeah, so my preferred platform is Facebook, because all of the other platforms, they either don't allow you to have communities the way Facebook does. It's harder to have communities, or there's no, like Instagram does not have opportunities for people to gather together as a community. It's just posts. On Facebook, you have communities, you have these groups, you have these forums, and you can run a challenge on any platform. You can run it on the blog, you can run it on Instagram. There's lots of different variations. I found that if you want to grow your business fast, position yourself as an expert, grow your following, grow your list, the format that I found works beautifully, because you can start from scratch. You can start with nothing. You can start with no group, no list, and all of a sudden you'll have hundreds of people following you, looking up at you as an expert and saying, what's next? How can I work with you closer? So the format in the way that I teach it is, yes, it's based on Facebook as a platform.
Yeah, and I know your Facebook group is huge. It has grown very quickly, and this seems to be the magic behind it, doing this challenge.
Primarily for challenges, yes.
And offering great value as a teaching these little pieces of information and getting people taking action, it brings the results. So that has been huge, because I have done your challenges in the past and I have loved them so much, because it always teaches me something, like very practical things to put in place.
Well, that's one of the secrets that I teach about challenges. If you want to have a successful and profitable challenge, you want to make sure that people are seeing a result every single day. So it has to be something very small that they can try right away. They don't say like, oh my gosh, it's going to take me 3 hours. I'm going to do it three weeks from now. It has to be something fast. It has to be something doable, and it has to be something that they can complete within each day. So in 5 days, they feel like, I can write a blog, or yeah, I feel like I'm more fine-tuned with my intuition. Oh, now I know how to talk to my spirit guides, or oh, I just set up my first messenger bot. So whatever the topic is, you want people to have this really amazing sense of accomplishment. I have so many people who finish my challenges in 5 days for free training, and then they say, I've done more for my business than I have done in a year or two being in masterminds and following my coaches, because it's so practical, to the point, and the main thing is I get people in action. It's not more information. It's all about like implement it and take action and see results right away.
Yeah, and that is the key. And I know that there is a teacher in you, as we talked before. So what do you think, in your opinion, what is the biggest mistake entrepreneurs do, and especially maybe spiritual entrepreneurs do, when it comes to visibility? And how to fix it? Because I know you have that part as well.
Oh, I have lots of thoughts on that. So number one is, how do I say this? So you know that I have a visibility Kickstarter challenge coming up. It's something that we would love to invite all of you if you haven't signed up yet. And I'm going to share a lot of different things that you should improve as far as your visibility. But as far as the number one mistake that people make is they don't know they want to be visible about. Like people say, I want to be more visible. But when I ask them, like, how do you want people to see you? They go, I don't know. It's like, if you're not clear on what kind of visibility you want to create for yourself, you're not going to ever go ahead and take that first step. Because most people struggle with this. Well, we're so creative. We're usually so good at so many things, or we can see so much potential in every single direction, that I work with a lot of people who say, I'm a weight loss coach, and I also talk to my spirit guides, and I also teach people how to use essential oils, and I'm a great cook. And their message becomes this whole like spread out, like, I don't know who you are and I don't know what to recommend or who to send to you. So you can't get visible if you think of yourself as a jack of all trades. That's probably the biggest mistake. So the more laser focused you become, so like I a couple of years ago, I decided I want to be known as the go-to expert for online challenges. And it takes a little bit of time, but now people go like, you're the only person I would send people when it comes to online challenges. If I wanted to learn online challenges, I would only learn it from you. Like, you're the person. So you have to decide, what is that one thing that you want to be known for? And I went through lots of different iterations. It doesn't have to be like set. Like, for a while, I wanted to be the best headshot photographer in Reno, where I live, and I made that happen. For a while, I wanted to be visibility, visual. I can't even remember. It was so convoluted. Visual something expert. See, I can't even remember. So the more clear you are on what you want to be known for, the easier it is to get visibility. If you're still trying to be visible for many things, like, oh, I am really good at podcasts and writing books. I also do this really amazing tax course, and I walk dogs. It's like, you can't go online and you can't create a message that lets people know who you are. So the number one mistake is basically being too diluted or trying to be known for too many things. You're way better off picking one thing and sticking to it for maybe 6 months or so, seeing how it works. And if you stick to anything for 6 months, you're going to start seeing results and you're going to start getting profit.
Yeah, and that is a great advice, because I know light workers, we sometimes want to just serve everyone, and we are afraid of choosing one thing and one audience. But it is very helpful what you shared, and like, just check it out. And if it doesn't work for you, then you can change, like you did. Like, okay, you accomplished something and then felt like there is something different thing what you want to do. So it's okay, but at least sticking with one thing for a certain time to get the result.
Yeah, but it feels safer, because one of the things with visibility, sometimes people are afraid of being visible. Like, what if I decide I am the whatever Facebook guru, and then immediately I'm like, what if another guru comes along and says I'm more guru than you, and all you're teaching is wrong? Like, you immediately, like, as soon as you put this label or put yourself up, like, and declare and own your expertise, you immediately start worrying about, like, what if somebody says I said it wrong? What if I give the wrong advice? Do I actually know everything? Do I need to go get 10 more certificates so I can actually feel like I'm an expert? So it's safer to say, oh, I just do some Facebook, but I also do Instagram, and I also do Pinterest. So the more we dilute, the safer we feel. So there's a little bit of this whole, like, you got to take that first step and go through your fear and say, like, declare your expertise. Because you can't be visible unless, again, you make a stand and say, I want to be visible for XYZ.
Yeah, and I love that, like, declare your expertise, like, take the step, work through that fear. And I'm here to help you with that if you feel like, I want that, but there is all these things coming up. Because it is possible to just claim your expertise and claim that, like, I can. And when you claimed, Alina, your expertise, what would you tell, what were the struggles and thoughts? Like, how did you work through all that? Like, oh my gosh, I'm saying I'm a Facebook expert, I'm online challenge expert. What was helpful for you?
Oh, I went through a lot of it, because like I said, a lot of things that for me personally were coming up is like I immediately start comparing myself with who else do I know who's doing the same thing and they've been doing it longer than me, and what if they're better and their list is already bigger. So all of that stuff. So I've had quite a few healing coaches. So I've done a lot of personal transformation around this whole subject of visibility, but there's no way I could have done it myself, because if you yourself, you're sitting in your own little box, all afraid in the dark, and hope nobody notices you. It's not the right way to get visible. You need somebody else from the outside to shine that light on you, to help you see your own light and help you overcome this. So my biggest secret is I hire coaches when I need to grow, when I feel like I'm going through another expansion phase, when it feels scary, when I feel constricted, where I come from the space of lack versus abundance and this whole scarcity thing. Like even right now, I work with a couple of healers, energetic healers, where I go and I say, I just did this, now I'm all afraid I'm gonna go hide it, or I want to do this, but I don't want to do this, and we help. So I work on it on a strategic level, of course, like, okay, here's the step-by-step process. I work on it on the inner game level, where like, what does my head tells me? Is that really
Mm.
true? Like, do I have any evidence that it's actually true? And like, once you start talking through it, I'm like, yeah, no, the whole world is not going to fall apart if I do another Facebook Live. And then I also work on energetic level, where I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but I can bring myself to doing this. Like, what's going
Mm.
on? And very often it could be karma, it could be past lives. I don't even have to believe in it for it to clear, to be honest. But intuitively, you kind of know when, like, you doing all the right things and you saying all the right mantras and you have all the right affirmations and the things are still not clicking. Most likely, it's something on the energetic level that's holding you back. So I have support and coaches on all three levels that help me up level myself anytime. Like, it doesn't matter how big you get. It doesn't matter. Like, I have $1 million business. You'd think like, oh, I got it all figured out. No, yesterday I was thinking like, should I even do this? Who am I to do this? Like, it always comes up. There's always that next level where you
Yeah.
go, do I want to be that visible?
And then we just worked through that. And I'm so glad you have done all the work and like helping so many people now. And you mentioned that you have the Visibility Kickstarter coming. So would you like to share a little bit more about that? Who is it for and why people should join?
Yes, well, because it's fun and cool. So I have this Visibility Kickstarter challenge. I only do it once a year, and it's only live once a year. You can't get it anywhere else. And it's my most popular online challenge. So if you want to experience what an online challenge like, so you can kind of try it on for yourself and see if that's something you want to do in your business, because it's a really easy way to boost your business and bring some paying clients to your business in just a matter of days. That's one side of it, if you want to experience a challenge. And the second part of it, the content of the actual challenge, is the Visibility Kickstarter. So I'm going to be teaching you specifically how to choose that right path, how to figure out what to focus on to get visible on, and give you some really practical and strategic steps on how you can start growing your visibility and reach right there, right within those 5 days. We've had people who like increased their reach and visibility by 4,000% while they were
Wow.
in the challenge, according to Facebook statistics. But people were getting visibility, they were getting comments, they were getting noticed, they were getting even like some potential clients. We always have people who expand their business as a result of this challenge. And everything that I'm teaching, it's not people always worried like, oh, with Facebook, the algorithm's changing every 2 weeks. What am I going to do? So everything that I teach is sort of this classic, proven, traditional way of doing business. It's based on content. It's based on value. It's based on relationship building. It's not based on the latest hack. It's not based on paying for Facebook ads. It's all based on knowing who you are, getting very clear on your message, and then taking some very specific steps on Facebook or anywhere online to spread that word to more people so you can transform more lives. So the Visibility Kickstarter, the promise is that you'll learn how to actually look at your business, how to talk about your business, so you can increase your reach and visibility.
Wow, that sounds so good. I can't wait because I already joined. So I do hope that you will join as well. And I will post the link to the comments so you can click and join us on the Visibility Kickstarter because it is time, like Fergus, it's time to reach more people with your message and start the transformation, do your work, and serve those who you came here to serve. So thank you, Alina, so much for joining us today and sharing about this opportunity to get your support for free during 5 days. It's amazing.
Yeah,
So
that's a lot
great.
of access to me. And it's fun. Oh, and there's prizes, and there's like a grand prize. There's lots of opportunities. So go check it out. And I would love to see you in the group. I would love to see you in a challenge, and I would love to be able to support you with your own visibility. And thank you, Katja, so much for having me here. It's always a pleasure talking to you. And thank you.
Thank you, Alina, and thank you for watching and subscribe to this channel so you will get the next Path to Purpose episode and join the Visibility Kickstarter. Bye.
Bye.